So we're about to go ahead and, of course, have this new moon in Leo for all zodiac signs. So if you're a Leo sun, Leo moon, Leo ascendant, this whole constellation is going to basically be shining its light. And, of course, the way you carry yourself and the energies you give off and what you're manifesting is pretty much your birthday season. So happy birthday to all Leo, sun, moon, and ascendances. Now, you all have Leos inside of you. So, of course, you're going to have Leo and these characteristics in these houses that you're gonna basically partake in, pretty much push off. So we're gonna basically get into the houses of where you're gonna have the new moon in Leo at, and these are gonna be the areas where you need to go ahead and, of course, shine your solar plexus, get in your bag, and of course, don't be too dry. Spark your fire, spark your childlike natures, and of course, spark your inner child, your inner verse. It's all about your universe. And of course, when we're talking about moon manifestations, the moon is the fastest moving planet. So your moon is what you manifest, and the moon is who you are. So you want to make sure that you're reacting and responding and taking on these characteristics of the moon. See where the moon is at. See how it's aligning with you. See where the moon is basically doing this waxing phase at. And of course, you only got what, a few days for the new moon in Leo. Then after that, the moon will basically be going into Virgo. And when the moon is at Virgo, you need to go ahead and start reacting and responding towards being organized, being consistent, being practical, setting up a scheduling system. Because after that perspective, we're going to be in the season of Virgo. And Virgo is harvestation season. Of course, when you harvest too much, you can't have it all. You got to share it, Libra. And then, of course, when you share it, everybody going to love that. Everybody going to be very lustful. It's going to be Scorpio season. You're going to get deep, have deep connections behind the scenes. After that, we're gonna basically go within ourselves behind the scenes, and we're gonna expand, and we're gonna basically go ahead and experience what we've basically been doing behind the scenes. And of course, after that, once we expand, we're traveling, we're going above and beyond, we're looking at the bigger picture. So of course, we're carrying status, a reputation, a goal, responsibilities, and of course, having a duty and obligation behind that, Capricorn. And once we create our own business of that perspective, we get to basically share that business with others, or help others, or build with others, and teach others, or we learn from others how we can basically associate Aquarius. And of course, once we associate that, that's the bed we lay in when it comes to the Pisces season, our dreams, imaginations, and fantasies. And of course, Aries season is the season that you want to basically go at, and of course, go hard or go home. March Madness. But this is perspective of Moon and Leo. So we're gonna basically run down these houses, these alignments, these charts, and we're gonna basically do some tarot readings, and we're gonna get basically into the Jupiter retrograde that's gonna basically be coming up, where Jupiter is gonna test your faith to see if you really want that shit. Now, being that the new moon is Leo, the sun is conjuncting the moon at the moment. So that means what you are geared towards to and what you are manifesting and reacting and responding to is going to have a charge to go pretty much automatically in extreme to wherever you got Leo at in your houses. Now, for instance, Saturn is in retrograde at the moment, so it's going to be opposing the sun and the moon all season long. And this is going to be an area and location where it comes to you expressing yourself, getting on stage, and you dealing with your associations, your groups, your acquaintances. So you got to play the polarity of 50-50, because the seeds you're planting right now is going to be geared towards the full moon being in Aquarius. So being that you are in a phase of Leo season, you have a focus and a viewpoint on that perspective. And all those energies and vibes that you're giving towards Leo is going to be fulfilled in Aquarius. So you're going to be pretty much fulfilled when it comes to past associations. That can pretty much be a representation where it can pretty much help you gears towards where you need to go ahead and move forward into. Or this is going to be a situation where you're going to be fulfilled when it comes to the things that you are acquainting yourself with. Be fulfilled when it comes to the right groups, the right associations, the right manifestations, the right perspectives, and how you're building and correlating these progresses. Now, if you got Leo in your first house, you need to come up with a new way to be fixated when it comes to feeling and seeing about your personality, your personal life, your personal interests, and how you personally cater towards your self-esteem during this time. You need to go ahead and, of course, make sure your personality and your personal appearance is getting a supercharge during this time. And, of course, all eyes will be basically on you, being that you are the Leo ascendant. But your personality is going to be pretty much that perspective. Now, you're going to be manifesting some past circumstances and situations that can kind of like take you off task, or it can pretty much bring experiences in your life that can bring you, responsibilities. You get serious, you getting organized. That's going to be seventh house, relationships. People, places, and things that you relate with and correspond with and connect with. These individuals can kind of like take you off your task, or they can pretty much help you, depending on the oppositions and how these are playing out when it comes to this rotation. Now, you when you got Leo in your second house, this is placing you to a situation of being a Cancer ascendant. So that means you need to go ahead and, of course, come up with a new way on how to learn how to be fixated when it comes to your ways of feeling and seeing about the things and the people that you value, and of course, coming up with a new way to value yourself. Now, in this area and location, you're gonna be manifesting oppositions, secret oppositions that can help you or destroy you when it comes to your eighth house, Aquarius, or this can be past associations that you conducted yourself with previously that's gonna pop back up to see if you're ready or not, or you. Yeah. So with that eighth house, you're gonna be going to learning oppositions, learning obstacles, or learning how to utilize obstacles to make you be fulfilled. Now, if you got this in your third house, this means you are a Gemini ascendant. So basically, by default, this house is already basically bringing a conjunction, being that it's in your third house and it's also here with Leo. So that means you're going to be pretty much in the process of coming up with a new way to be fixated in your own ways of feeling and seeing about your ways of thinking, communicating, expressing your mind and what's on your mind, and gaining attention for the right shit that comes out your mouth, out your lips. So you need to be basically, very open and out there, and you, of course, utilize your throat chakra, get that thing working, and get that thing talking. Because for me, whatever is you speaking is going to basically be the death or the birth of your tongue during the season, and it's going to be a fulfillment when it comes to this area of you having Aquarius in your house. If you got, so you're gonna have Aquarius in your ninth house. So the better you can plant seeds in this area, you're gonna have opportunities. So the better you utilize these opportunities to plant good seeds, you'll be fulfilled when it comes to your ninth house being in Aquarius, your experiences, looking at the bigger picture, long distance travels. Now, if you got this in your fourth house, you're a Taurus ascendant. So of course you're gonna be placed into an area and location of going through misunderstandings, new misunderstandings on ways of feeling and seeing about your home, family, and privacy matters. Now, what you need to go ahead and do is focus on home and family during this time. And of course, be an example of what to do during this time. And what's going to oppose you and take you off task is going to be past association, dealing with your status, your reputations, and goals. That's going to pop back up. That's going to be here to help you, or kind of like manifest more situations that's going to take you off task. But if you utilize obstacles, you'll be all right. Now you're gonna be going through some misunderstandings when it comes to statuses and reputations in that house. Now, if you got this in your fifth house, by default, you're gonna have a conjunction. So that means you're gonna have all the power to get lazy or just go ahead and sit on your ass. But at the end of the day, you're also gonna be manifesting gifts by default. But you're gonna go to the extremes in this area when it comes to expressing your ego, expressing your gifts and your projects and your hobbies. Now, understand that you're going to basically be going through some past experiences and past associations that's dealing with your groups, your quantities, the public, and the unknown. These things are going to pop back up, and they're going to take you off task for good or for worse. So be aware of that. So watch out for the ops. Now, if you got this in your sixth house, you are Pisces ascendant, so you're going to be basically going through some misunderstandings as well. But in this house right here, you need to go ahead and, of course, come up with a new way of feeling and seeing about your work health routine in a new productive manner, in a more happiness perspective, where it's going to basically bring joy and fulfillment and not bring a mundane area or situation into your constellation. You now be aware you're going to be opposed when it comes to your dreams, imagination, and fantasies. Now, if you got the new moon in Leo in your seventh house, this is making you a Aquarius ascendant by default. Now, Leo falls in this house, and Leo is going to basically begin opposed in this house right here. So it's up to you to utilize the opportunities to take the obstacles and the oppositions to go ahead and, of course, come up with a new way of feeling and seeing about your relationships and the way you relate towards others and how others relate towards you. Are you getting the short end of the stick or the long end of the stick? Feel me? But you always want to have the long end of the stick. Feel me? Ladies, y'all know what I mean. But now, if you have this house constellation right here, what's going to oppose you is going to be you. You could be your worst enemy during this time if you plant bad seeds. And you're going to be going through some past personal experiences, dealing with reality, structure, responsibilities, duties, and obligations. We'll get up off your 1-2, and of course, you'll be right. Now, if you got this in your eighth house, this makes you a Capricorn ascendant. So that means you need to come up with a new way of learning how to initiate new ways on how to feel and see when it comes to having a deep desire towards your intimacy, your finances, and your resources and material. And of course, what makes you wake up out of bed and you'll be passionate. Mars here and Pluto here. So that means you need to come up with a new way of taking power control behind the scenes. And if you're better, you can do that. You won't have too many obstacles that's going to kind of like take you off when it comes to your second house, the things you value or surface level shit. Now, if you got the same ninth house, you can be placed into a circumstance situation of coming up or having the gift to come up with new ways of feeling and seeing about your experiences, your meanings, your purposes, and of course, having a broad perspective about life. Now, if you're playing good seeds, you're going to be basically fulfilled when it comes to your environment, your surroundings, and of course, consciousness when it comes to Aquarius in the third house. If you got this in your 10th house, you're going to be placed into a circumstance situation of going through some misunderstandings, new misunderstandings when it comes to having a deeper connection and a new way of feeling and seeing about your status, your reputations, and what you're known for. And the better you can pretty much, plant seeds and take power and control over that area, you'll be all right. Now you're going to be fulfilled if you plant the right seeds. And you'll be fulfilled when it comes to your home, your family, and of course your privacy. Home and family gonna make you feel comfortable if you plant good seeds. Plant bad seeds, they're gonna make you feel uncomfortable. 11th house. If you're in this area like here, you need to come up with a new way of dealing with oppositions and also dealing with consciousness. So you're gonna be getting opposed on a double perspective. So your associations with people that you associate yourself with, these individuals do not fulfill you. You need to go ahead and let them go. This way you can be fulfilled when it comes to your 5th house. Your creative endeavors and your hobbies will be fulfilled versus associating yourself with the wrong individuals. The last but not least, if you got to see your 12th house, you are Virgo ascendant. So that means you need to go ahead and, of course, come up with new ways of feeling and seeing about your dreams, imagination, fantasies, and, of course, your intuition. And if you're planting good seeds, you'll be fulfilled when it comes to your first house.